It's upgrade time. It's that time of the year where you've got to upgrade your rig. At least I like to do this as regularly as I can. And because I'm working with MSI, I've decided to upgrade my rig with two new components. This isn't my main gaming rig just yet. This is my streaming rig, which is probably my most important one because it does a huge amount of really intensive work to make sure that my streams go out and look the best that they can. So the first thing that I'm going to be upgrading is the case, and I've chosen the MPG Sekira 500G to do that. This case is kind of my choice for a couple of reasons. It's a little bit bigger than my current one. It's got more space inside, which is great, but it's got an extractable bracket for mounting water cooling, and I have existing water cooling in my streaming rig because you need to make sure that the CPU is cooled. I mostly use a CPU to encode my stream, and it overheats really quickly, and I really want to get the best quality out of the CPU. So if you have water cooling in your rig, you get really good quality, and having the bracket is great. I have a little anecdote story about this. When I was busy building my streaming rig and I was putting the water cooling in, I put the water cooling in the wrong way around the first time, and it was extremely frustrating because my machine would keep on shutting down because it's obviously trying to save the CPU. When I worked out that I needed to change the water cooling, it was such a mission. I had to take everything out again. I had to unplug stuff. I had to flip things around. It took me an entire day to put that water cooling back when I had already built the machine. This allows you to quickly add water cooling, quickly change anything that needs to happen. If anything breaks inside the machine, you're able to access it really quickly. And it's got these beautiful tempered glass sides, which don't require tools, so it's really easy to get inside and upgrade. Really excited about the Sekira 500G, and then I'm upgrading my motherboard. I do use AMD. I have an AM4 processor. I've got a Ryzen 2700X. As a result, to use a workhorse like that, I also might be upgrading to Ryzen 3000 to make sure that I'm future-proofed. I've got an MSI B450 Tomahawk motherboard. It looks absolutely incredible. It's got this really sleek metallic finish, a lot of matte black going on inside the box, which is really great. It is a no-nonsense board that is about performance, and I really need to get the best performance out of my rig. So I'm going to be replacing my current motherboard with this AM4 beast so that I'm future-proofed for new CPUs. One of my favorite features that MSI have implemented in a bunch of their motherboards, including the B450 Tomahawk, is the ability to BIOS flash the board. If you need to upgrade your board, especially with a whole bunch of these new processors that are coming out, you want to make sure that you've got the best software on the board. It's super easy. When I had to flash my current motherboard right now, it was an absolute mission. What you do with this one is there is a USB slot. Here's the IO play. Here's a USB slot on the back of the motherboard that you have the update file on. You plug it in. You don't need your processor on the board. You don't need RAM. You don't need a GPU. And you just press a button on the top over here. And that button will flash the BIOS with the brand new software that future-proofs you. So it's all about making sure that you buy the backbone of your machine and get the best results in the future by future-proofing yourself with a board like this. And I really need to do that. Because it's an AM4 motherboard, it supports all first, second, and third generation AMD Ryzen CPUs, which is great if you already have an existing one and you want to upgrade your CPU later. It also supports DDR4 memory up to 3466 overclock megahertz. There's a lot of cooling solutions in here with the extended heatsink design, which is great because remember my problem? I had my CPU overheating. You don't want your hardware to overheat. It just degrades the quality of the hardware over an extended period of time, and you want the best out of everything that connects to the motherboard, which is the spine of your computer. It's got one turbo M.2 slot, so if you want to have really fast boot-in times with your OS, your operating system, or any games that you've installed to your M.2 storage on the motherboard, you've got that ability. It comes with audio boost built directly into the motherboard. This is incredible sound quality. You don't need an extra sound card. It's built right into the motherboard, which is great if you guys are playing a ton of games and you want the best sound experience, the most immersive audio experience that you can get. It's also built with Mystic Light. It's MSI's proprietary lighting system, which means that all the lighting, all the RGB lighting in your whole gaming setup talks to one another. So if you have an entire MSI rig, you really get the full experience of anything that is lit with RGB. And lastly, this guy's been tested by esports professionals around the world. MSI have made sure that it's been put through its paces. So this is going to be one of the best quality boards that I can get. It's gonna last a long time. It's gonna be future-proofed. It's got the best grade hardware on it. And I'm really excited to see what the stream actually ends up looking like just by upgrading the spine of the machine. The motherboard comes with an HMI port and a DVI built right in. It's VR ready. It has a USB Type-C. It comes with a LAN port. It's Crossfire compatible. It's got 6 rear audio ports. It supports 2 USB 3.1 ports at the front, 1 USB 3.1 ports at the rear, 4 USB 2.0 ports at the front, and 2 USB 2.0 ports at the rear, which supports up to 10 USB ports, which as a streamer is extremely important. We've got a lot of devices that plug into this machine. Between cameras and controllers and audio devices, we need it. The MPG Sekira 500G has toolless tempered glass so that you can get inside and make sure that you can upgrade your components or fix them inside the box really easily without any tools. It's 4 millimeters thick, so it's just really, really powerful. If you're taking this to LAN or you're carrying it out of your studio or your cave, your gaming cave, it's gonna be really sorted. It's optimized for water cooling, so if you're overclocking your machine, this is a really good tower to get. And in fact, it's got optimized airflow all around it, so make sure that you're in a really well ventilated area. And your machine will be really well cooled. It also supports vertical graphics cards, so if you want to mount anything in an unusual way, like a GPU, you can. It's all built right into the actual case. And of course, the extractable radiator bracket design, which is super important because if you've got water cooling, you want to make sure that it's easy to access and easy to install. So let me get everything out of the boxes. We're going to start building this guy. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Boxes are defeating, purpose always fleeting. I pose questions to the ceiling like an answer gonna come. Truth is too revealing, life is easier concealing all emotions till the start on your heart going numb. I should be in drive more, I just wanna feel alive more. I feel hurt all the time, boy, I can't see straight. I've been running on the freeway till I get blinded by the headlights. They go past me, I see the last me that I ever will be. That got me asking if living this lightly, has that been the right thing? Or should I been a little bit more focused on the place that my feet needed to go? And as they go past me, I see the last me that I ever will be. And that got me asking if living this lightly, has that been the right thing? Or should I been more focused on where feet wanted to go? If I died right now, no lie, I'd have a few regrets. Wish I spent more time out biking instead of smoking cigarettes. Wish I worked more on music instead of alternating steps. Probably should have talked more to
We are finally done, and I'm really excited about this. Have a look, I've made everything match the MSI vibe. Everything is completely red. I love the way it looks. Actually, I didn't think I'd love red and black as much as I do, but it is incredible. The crest on the front is just such a nice color on the Sekira 500G that it's just like a chrome. It's nearly like a brass chrome, and that really goes with the red aesthetic. I love the fans. They're super quiet. We've got them on max, and you can hear that sounds really good, even on max. One of my favorite parts about rebuilding one of my existing rigs, and why if you guys are building your own rig, or if you've got a rig at home that you want to have an upgrade with, is you get to go through the parts, you get to clean them, you get to go through all the details, and the outcome is just, it feels like a brand new PC. And in many ways it is. Having a new motherboard, a new AM4 motherboard like the B450 means that we can really future-proof ourselves. And I mean that. That's one of the most important parts about any kind of computer building and PC building, is making sure that the next purchase that you make isn't gonna break the bank. It's gonna stack up in steps. My next GPU is gonna probably be a 5700 XT. I'm really amped about that. The glass on the sides is incredible. These usually have heavy clips on them that make a huge noise. They often break, but with the Sekira, it's just like magnets that just open up gently, and you can hear there's not even a sound. There's not even a sound opening your desktop. This means that if I'm streaming or if I'm doing anything that requires my computer to be completely silent, which I'm often need to, it is, and I can't believe how quiet it is. Like it really is. There's a ton of fans, and obviously we're keeping it super cool with the tray at the top. When I first built this computer with a completely different case, it was just really hard. It took me 2 days. One of the big reasons was fitting the cooling became an extreme chore. I had to fit the fans and then refit them because they weren't fitted properly. They were drilled to the case, not to a tray like this. So it took a lot of time in order for me to have it completely fitted. Here, it was as simple as just pulling out the tray and just drilling it into the tray, which it is something. It is really impressive. It's those small innovations which really make a big difference to me when building my rig. And also, I just love the design. I love how it's like sharp ends, there's nothing rounded, there's nothing like externally too flashy. It looks like super expensive, it looks classy. It's something else. I'm really amped with it.